everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's officially winning time in the NFL. In today's wildcard matchup, victory is the only option for these two teams. It's the Packers going up against the Bears. So let's send you up to Chicago, where we'll say hello to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup. And it'll be first down Bears.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that. Because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, when line shifts, all those things that go along with it. And yet you still have to be physical, and that's what they did on the first play.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. 7 yards remain now on third down.
Here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Anthony Barr almost defies description at times. He's built like a defensive end, but he plays outside linebacker and does it quite well.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Let's go. 180.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Right side complete, that's Woods. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Set. Move 58. Dagger.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. The left side caught by Diggs. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
Let's go. 190.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Defensively, the starters for Chicago, and they feel like they've got a big-time disruptor in Leonard Floyd from Georgia.
And when the draft process began, there was a mixed bag of opinions about Leonard Floyd. But as time went on and he tested and people saw him work out and they saw the sheer athleticism, people realized they better move fast to get him, and the Bears did, moving up in the first round to number 9 to pluck him.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Second down, Bridgewater. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Time running out here on the play clock. They just do get the play off. Now Bridgewater. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Bridgewater on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Donald in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Bridgewater now on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
That's going to frustrate the coaching staff a little bit as they dialed up the deep shot, but they weren't on the same page on that play. Heck, I don't think they were in the same book. I think he thought he was going to do something else, ends up throwing it over the sidelines. Well incomplete.
So a second down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. 23 yards on the play.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Bridgewater again. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
In not great starting field position here for the offense. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And he motions the wide receiver. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They run. Devontae Freeman. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for first. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Bridgewater to throw it. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Stephon Diggs, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And on 2nd and 10 now. And they're definitely showing blitz here. They go play action. Bridgewater. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Hireman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Bridgewater on 1st down. The left side caught by Diggs. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They come up in an offset eye. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. Back with more NFC playoff action after this.
Let's go. Move it.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. This an easy one, 23-yarder. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Here we go now. Detroit!
They go back to the air here after the INT. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Now back to throw.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
2nd down now after the incompletion.
Over! All right, here we go. Blue, landed. Blue, Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
In today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
No. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Watch it now, Barney. Leopard. Over.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Let's go.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. shift together here from the D-line. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Bridgewater. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the left. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Freeman again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. This is Cobb with a catch right side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. In motion left goes a tight end. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Bridgewater. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. So the flag is for the very rare illegal forward pass penalty.
Not often that a quarterback forgets where the line of scrimmage is. They have an innate sense about it. On this play, the quarterback did.
Let's go. Blue 58.
Bridgewater now on second down. And complete right side to Cook. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. And now they're in the hurry up. They'll set up to throw. Finding time. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Back to throw. Being chased out left. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Ten yards to go on 3rd. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 30 yards there. And now a first down following that long gain.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. They find some open field here. Does the big boy have the juice? Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
To throw it, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
This time he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, Freeman. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll be a Chicago first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Let's go.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Their big-bodied receiver, 54 yards. And the Bears draw a bit closer. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They come out here in the eye. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The play clock's running down. This is Freeman. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 5 yards to go.
Let's go. Fourth. Let's go.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yep.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Let's go. Blue 58.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And nope. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Bridgewater. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On now is the Packers punter. as he'll come on to kick this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And they're going to speed things up here.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on fourth down.
Now let's go. Leopard. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Detroit.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 16 yards on the play. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Hurry up. Here we go.
Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. You give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
They'll put two receivers left, two to the right.
Detroit.
And the wideout in motion. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Stephon Tuitt in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And they're able to stop it here on the spike with 3 seconds remaining. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Yeah, get to the wild card.